Okay. Let's see, what do we got? Okay, let's go. Just a quick stream today, I think. I'm just finishing up some of the render on this desert illustration background. I was going to do it anyway, so it's just streaming at the same time is easier. Ready. Hello, Sid. Sid, my friend, how are you? Have you finished Ori yet? I know I haven't played it at all, so I've still got most of the game to go. Hello, Trails. Welcome back. Just a little headache, is it? Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes. How am I? I'm doing good. I'm painting on the wrong layer, but I'm doing good. It's so sunny in the UK at the moment. It's stunning. I love it. So I'm doing really good, thanks. No, I was occupied with some work, so I didn't play this weekend. Yeah, I know, same. That's my main issue too. Just so busy. And I like doing art again, which I didn't for a while. I went off it. Like personal stuff and streams and YouTube. Like, I haven't done a video in like 4 months, so I went off it for a bit. But I'm good now. Cheers, bro. Where you at in the UK, man? Cardiff at the moment. Cardiff. You from the UK? Where you too? Same, pretty pretty sunny here these days too. What country are you from, Sid? Or what country are you living in? I went on your stream the other day, but you were having audio technical difficulties, so I had to, I left it on, but what's this? I left it on, but I had to go eventually, and I didn't get the chance to see Ori, which was just as well, because I didn't want any spoilers, really. Oh, Trails from Bournemouth. Nice. Bournemouth. Nice and sunny in Bournemouth, I bet. Sum, hi, I'm from Russia. Hello, Sum. Welcome. Hello, everyone. Hey, Matt. Yasmin's back. Hello, Yasmin. Thanks for joining. As I said at the start, I'm just doing the render for this desert illustration. I'll be doing it anyway at this time, so I just thought I might as well stream it, because I streamed the first half. If you didn't see that as well, it's on my YouTube. It's the third stream I did, I think. Get some flair in there. Yeah, hot, well, medium hot. Yeah, it was hotter the past like 2 days, wasn't it? But it's still nice. Still nice. Walk-in weather. We could just go out in a shirt. Well, not just a shirt, but like on the top, just a shirt, like. I want to eradicate all mosquitoes. Mosquitoes. I've never been in contact with a mosquito before. I imagine it's pretty rough. Looks amazing. Thanks, Yasmin. Thank you. It's for a game. It is. Oh, I was supposed to actually link them the stream. I might have to do that in a minute. Yes, it's for a game. It is. I think it's a desert background that gets used twice. So, deselect that. So this is like a kind of a happy desert scene, quite calm, nice. The colours are quite bright and happy and immediately stand out. And then it's supposed to be a battlefield as well. So it's like pre-battle and post-battle. So it's going to be a lot more moody after, and like dead bodies around, I suppose. Hey Mizu, how you doing? I'm doing good, thanks. Doing good. Hot weather. Into my painting again. Into my personal art again. So it's all good. Doing very well, thanks. How are you? Oh, that's too bright. Is that too bright? Nah. Lucky you, man. Yeah, thank you. Did you say you never encountered a mosquito before? Yeah, I've never encountered a mosquito before. I know what they look like. We don't have them in the UK, I don't think. I'm pretty sure we don't. So it's not really, we don't get friendly with them, really. I don't think anybody does. Yeah, let's start. Yeah, let's go! Let's go! Oh, this could probably going to take me about... This will probably take me an hour and a half to do, I imagine. I probably won't finish it today. I'll probably a quick stream. I was supposed to get a YouTube video out this weekend too, for that piece I showed on my last video. But I never had a chance. Yeah, me doing well too, miss the outside. Yeah, I know. I think I spend most of my time inside anyway. I think most of my hobbies are inside, so I don't really miss anything. I mean, I'd probably go for more walks now than I did before, just because the weather's really nice. So that was probably my reason. Is there some reason to be painting some objects outside of the main background? Outside of the main background? Do you mean like these here, like on this? Let me know if you mean like this kind of thing where it's like protruding outside. That shape is too rough. Yeah, exactly it. Yeah, I with that, it's just more of a it's something I've always done. Like this big rock is protruding outside what you think is the main background, but that's just because I haven't completely decided on the framing yet. So, like here, like I assume you think this is the background, and it kind of is. It's kind of the marker I'm going for. But now that I know that that's the frame, I could at least move things around within that frame. It needs editing if I did, but like I could slightly move things around. So with this protruding out here, with that, it's more of a I was just finishing my shape. So to give it a bit more realism, I suppose, in my head. Like if I went and did like a shape like this here and cut it off there, that would be fine. But if I wanted to extend the shape, I wouldn't stop there like that. I would carry on filling the shape out just so I know that it is real, I suppose. And then I always cut it in the end, but if I needed to, it would be there. Like if I needed to pull it in a bit. That's why I've got this kind of border here outside of the frame. Sometimes for like color, to just random color pick, and other times to perhaps have like a little bit of reference here. I think I'm going to bleed in some intense color on the edge here. Yeah, looks nice. Ooh, and here. Your organic mind state is brilliant. Thank you. Organic mind state, I like that. Yeah, it's something I think I seen finished illustrations that have this out of the like bursting out of the frame design when I was starting. I remember specifically DeviantArt had a lot of that from these really really good illustrators, and I always liked that, so I think I kept it. Like I like it that it's bursting out there. I quite like that because it's like it's not within the frame, but it's still you still have all of the attributes that you would down here. Like it hasn't changed color at all. It's just I don't know. I really quite like it. Like I would publish illustrations with extruding out of the landscape stuff. I think it looks quite good. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Hello, Derek from Russia. Hello. Thanks for joining. I'm starting to see like a lot of who my main fans are, like who's always online when I'm online. It's quite nice. Should do something for you. I like everything you paint your work and how your mind see what you see makes sense most concepts all the time. Thank you, man. My yeah, that does make sense. I think it's just relating to different artists, really. I mean, there are concepts artists that I really like, illustrators I really like. I respect everyone, like character artists and things that aren't even in my field. I respect them too. But it's just you kind of like the artists that are like the art that you create. I suppose. So if you're into stylized stuff, then you'll like stylized artists, and vice versa. It's too strong. A lot of people from Russia, I see. There is a lot of people from Russia. There are lots of people from Russia. Which is nice. It's good. Welcome all. I can't understand the language though, the text, but that's fine. Hello. Hello. I can't understand that one either. Oh wow, it was so loud. Oh, what was so loud? My voice, was it? Ooh, is it too loud? Oh yeah, it's very loud. Yeah. I'll turn it down a bit. I'll speak a bit more quietly. I probably ruined a few speakers. I'm always interested to know, like how each individual of you actually found my channel. Like, because when you do, some of you may already do YouTube, but when you do a few YouTube videos, it's always a little bit like you think that the tags don't work. Like you think, oh, I'm just gonna tag concept art, illustration, tutorial, tips, how to, that kind of thing, and you always think, oh, it doesn't work sometimes, because who's searching that and then clicking the first video that comes up, you know? Because they are going to click the first video, and mine's going to be like page 76 or something, you know? So I'm always interested to hear how people found my videos, just so I know, really, like how you came across my channel. Oh, I found one of your videos about Procreate and YouTube recommendations. Procreate. I did do 1 or 2 videos about it, didn't I? I got 1 or 2. I got about maybe like 3 or 4 paintings on YouTube that are from Procreate. But my go-to is probably Photoshop. I'd definitely say. Thanks though. YouTube is scary. It is a bit scary. YouTube and Alexa put together Endgame. Yeah. I agree, it is a bit scary. I'm in an illustration course this semester, and I was looking up environment concept art on YouTube. I think you were one of the top videos. I was one of the top videos. Ooh, nice. Because I see my videos, obviously, but it's always difficult, like, when I... To try and see your videos coming up on other people's searches. It's a weird feeling, but it's a weird... I can't really imagine it. I'm in an illustration course this semester. Oh, are you doing... is it... sorry, was it... Joseph... Yeah. Is it... a university course, sorry? Or is it like an online course? Just my recommend. Yeah, you've got not too many Procreate videos, but I decided to stay because I do style and also work in Photoshop too. Oh, that's perfect. Thank you. Yeah, style. I think I described style in a previous video, but I always thought of it like it was revolutionary when I was trying to develop a style. I think everyone goes to this stage where they try and like force themselves to learn a style, and then they'd be like, oh, that'll be my style. But style is like 100,000 decisions you make while you're painting. Like even before you start painting, it's decisions you make. So like it's every brush stroke, the choice of brush, the choice of color, the choice of exaggeration that you want to make, and that you want to pull and stretch. It's everything. It even comes down to like content. Like not all artists everywhere do everything. It's like a lot of my stuff is very very fantasy. It's very fantasy, isn't it? And it's like I don't do a lot of sci-fi. I don't do a lot of character stuff. So it's a lot of my paintings look the same. I think a lot of people can tell mine apart from a lot of other people's. I can tell a lot of artists' work from one another. So it's yeah, you can definitely learn a style, but you'll have to learn the 100,000s of things that they choose a minute. Like just if you do like I notice a lot of people do paint overs, recreate the paintings of digital artists like they used to do for traditional. And you'll learn a lot about what they do by doing one of them, but you don't learn everything. Like you can spend your life recreating that, and you would only have about half of half of the style, it won't be exactly the same. I am doing more streams more frequently. Yeah, I am at university, but online now because of the pandemic. Oh yeah, true. I'm a studio arts major, but I talked with my advisor about doing animation gaming classes because it's more of what I want to do. Oh, cool. Okay, so animation as well. So so you're about 18, 19, I imagine. Just like starting out on your journey. Hello from Brazil again. Hi. Oh wow. Okay. Because of the pandemic, I'm a studio arts major. Yeah. Sorry, I read that one. So what about your 3D thing on Instagram? Do you got some 3D artists? Oh yeah, that's perfect. Actually, I'm looking for some. Or shall I whisper it? I don't know. I'm looking for some 3D artists, if I can. 3D character artists to help me with something. Actually, it's just a one-off commission that I need. Probably a character, the rig, the UVs, and the paints painted. And that'll be it probably. So just looking for someone to get me that done. It's paid obviously, and I just need to know the rates and the portfolio of whoever's interested. It's more difficult to find these people than you would think. I have a lot of friends, but they're just they're either not quite ready or they're just a little bit busy, I suppose. But yeah, if you can sort of help me find someone, that would be great. Tech Geeker, hi. Hello, Tech Geeker. Thank you for joining. Hello, Brazil again. Hello. Thank you for joining. Your accent sounds like Devon Dorset. Yeah, no, yeah. A lot of people say that I don't, like, especially from being around Cardiff, that I don't sound Welsh at all, and that I'm just, oops, painting on the wrong layer. I'm just, I don't really sound anything like where I'm from, so that's commonplace. Devon, though, that's nice. I always thought of Devon as like quite a posh, sunny, a little bit like Bournemouth. I always thought of it like sunny, slightly southern, a little bit posh, I think. A nice area. Just a nice area, yeah. Okay. Oops. Oh, it's so annoying when you're painting. When you do like, oh, look at that. When you do, oh no. When you're doing background illustration, I think one of the first things people tell you when you're going to learn, like, I think everybody starts off with. Like almost everyone anyway, starts off wanting to be a character artist, I think, because like when you're growing up, you're drawing your favourite characters, aren't you? You're not drawing your favourite character backgrounds. So it's like you're drawing your favourite characters, right? You're drawing Dragon Ball Z, like you're drawing Vegeta, you're drawing Goku, you're drawing your favourite Pokemon and stuff. And nobody's exactly sat there drawing like Viridian City, or you know what I mean? No one's drawing Planet Namek, right? So it's always I always find that strange because it shows that people have to adapt to learning backgrounds. Like it takes longer. And one of the main things is just because how many layers there are. Like that is the worst thing about background painting, probably, because if you want to get some depth, then you need layers. Oops. Cool. Oh wow, Chad. Turning 21 in June. I'm a baby. Yeah, you are a baby. You are a baby. I think most people. I read somewhere that most people, like with digital art and concept art and illustration, that people don't really make it in quotations, until about 26. I think it was. I think it was like your first paid job maybe at 24, but you don't really get anywhere until about 26. Like, you're no good until 26. So yeah, you've got ages. Yeah, you've got ages. Especially like every day, like when I was first learning, you didn't have much resources available. Like, YouTube was just a baby. No, well, not a baby, but like YouTube didn't have as much. Now YouTube's got hundreds of artists you can learn from every day. Artists trying to like get ahead of one another by giving away industry secrets and tips and tricks and stuff like that. And it's just so much more accessible now. Hello from India. Hello. Environment illustration, 8th place in the search, the brightest and colourful. Oh, thank you. I try to make it stand out with just being brighter and more colourful. Oh, thank you. 8th place. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Maybe I should whisper more. Something like that. Finally some Indian. Yeah, finally some Indian. I know really good the artist. He worked on Plants vs Zombies. His name was Sebastian Cavazzoli. Oh, could you? That would be perfect. If you can link me his information, email, ArtStation, Instagram, anything I'll do, and I'll get in touch. That'd be perfect. Do you prefer screen tablets? I do. I think I do. Just because I'm going blind and like I need to be closer to the screen anyway, so instead of pulling something forward, I just paint directly on it. It is a little bit faster, but really, I mean, people think they get a lot better when they get a Cintiq, but they really don't. They don't get a lot better at all. It takes a little bit of getting used to. And I'm just going to concentrate on one area. I'll concentrate on this foreground. They think they get a lot better as soon as they get a Cintiq, but they don't really. It's like it takes a lot of getting used to because it's slightly different than a tablet. And then in that process, then they're naturally getting better. So like nobody works backwards. Nobody has a Cintiq first, and then like they do their worst art, and then as they get better, they get a tablet, and they go, oh no, tablets are better because I'm doing better art on tablets than I am on Cintiq. If that makes sense. So yeah. Yeah, I do prefer Cintiq though. Agree, it all starts with anime. Creating sense of depth is the most challenging thing, painting landscapes. It is one of them, yeah. I mean, because you have to, it's almost purely atmospheric perspective and knowing your values to get depth. Like here, I suppose, I turn that off. The image changes completely when I turn certain things off, so I definitely turn that off. So yeah, you can see like the value is not that different to the background. So you've got one layer there, then you've got that second layer. You're bringing in some darks here, some depth as it's coming closer. Even though it's brighter, you still have some more what's it called, contrast. And that's that layer. And then that one here, you have your darkest, and you can tell it's most forward and stuff like that. So you can kind of cheat it in a way. Yeah, you can kind of cheat it with simple tricks. Huron brought out the new Huron Studio 22 all-in-one computer screen. That's pretty good. I've never tried the Huron. Is that how you pronounce it? Huron? Because it's probably nothing like how you pronounce it. Because I've always had sort of a classic PC setup. In fact, I've even got a new clipping mask. I've got a new monitor coming tomorrow. I've got I've got one 27-inch monitor for reference and everything else. Then I've got a portrait up on a mechanical arm 24-inch in portrait mode, and then I've got my Cintiq in front of me. So I've got 3 screens, which I always preferred over having one big screen. I know my friend's got a curved 32-inch screen. It's a beast. It's an absolute beast. Creating some depth in the background here. Should use a texture brush, but I am not. What's the hardest job you've ever done? Any tips to start drawing landscapes? Hardest job I've ever done? Is that the hardest? I've done different jobs other than concept art, and they were a lot harder than concept art, to be honest. Physically difficult. But the hardest concept art job I've done is hardest. That's a difficult one, because I think. I did have a client last year that was pretty difficult, actually. An Italian company that wanted a user interface for a card game, like a Hearthstone thing. And no matter what design I sent them, nothing was good enough. It was always this needs changing, that needs changing, and eventually I think we just left it, and I got paid for what I did, but I wasn't totally happy with that, because I wanted to finish it. I wanted it to do well enough, but I think sometimes you just can't meet someone's expectations, or their expectations are too high. One of those sort of combinations, or maybe I just wasn't good enough. But either way, it wasn't necessarily the hardest thing. It was just kind of annoying, really. Any tips for start drawing landscapes? Again, I think my entire YouTube video software platform, any time anyone asks me a question, it's always about a tip about how to paint and draw landscapes a little better. So I could talk about that for 3 or 4 days if you wanted, but if I had to give one tip, I don't know, because everything really matters. Like everything matters. Like value, depth, perspective, composition, it all matters. But I think the one thing, framing, the one thing I can winage, the one thing I could actually, the one thing that would help the most probably would be composition. To learn the basics of composition, probably because you don't really apply. You can apply. There are compositions to characters, but it's really like an environment thing, like a mood creator. So I would say study sort of 3-point perspective, the rule of thirds in composition, or just learning how different compositions can create different moods, because it's something that a lot of artists lack. Like a lot of artists go in, I want to render this really well, or I want to be really good at rendering metal or wood or something. And it's like they might be really good at that, but then they're missing, like, no image of theirs looks good because the composition is off. So I think maybe composition, because you can make a really bad image just feel nicer with composition. I will link his art station later on Instagram. That'd be perfect, Yasmin, thank you. Human is very good and affordable. I've heard that, yeah. I think XP Pen is the one I've got. That's quite affordable too. I think that's like second to Wacom. Human is pretty good. I really love it. Oh, a lot of people have used... I can't pronounce it. It's like Huon? Huion. On the screens makes you look like cyberpunk. It does. It does. It looks like at the moment, if you just walked into my studio, it looks like one of those early 2000 movies where they had, we need to go and see the nerd. You know what I mean? The hacker. The hacker is the room that mine looks like right now. Like I think it was even in Die Hard 4. Like they had this hacker character, and he was just like the most generic thing you've ever seen, with like all of his screens and wires and. So that's what it looks like right now. There's 4 screens, well 5 if you get the iPad and the iPhone, which is often on. Huion 2. A lot of people use Huion to provide a more functional, more affordable price, especially for places who need to provide good quality products. Oh, it's good to know. Mobin, hi Mobin, thank you. Welcome to the stream. Trying to redraw backgrounds of animations like Disney Pixar is a good idea for a start, and analyze, of course. Yeah, definitely it's a good start. I think DreamWorks, Pixar, and Disney, the 3D animation studios, especially the feature films, they concentrate on everything. So every aspect of that film, of that production is pretty good. If you get the art of books, like the art of Big Hero 6 or any of them really, you can always tell a Disney film, a Disney, Pixar and DreamWorks film from like a Blue Sky or like a smaller studio. There's just more pop of colour, like the level of shaders in DreamWorks and Disney films. It's nuts. It's just so colourful. Like even the backgrounds, like look at the most boring background ever, and it's got like so much depth and colour in it. It's unreal. So yeah, definitely study those. Just read framed in book and you'll be safe. Yeah, that's so true. That's so true that I think if I had to say, I don't think one tutor or online teacher, educator of any kind has done as comprehensive a job as I've forgotten his name, the framed ink guy, framed perspective. So I would say, yeah, just literally just get framed ink and you're fine. That'll improve your work 100%. XP Pen, agree. I have an XP Pen Deco 3. Ooh, what's a Deco 3? I have a Cintiq 22-inch HD. I don't know what a Deco 3 is. XP Pen is giving competition a Huron at the moment. They have forced Huron into reduce their prices compared to... I'm glad because for most years, like for most of the 2000s, like Wacom has just had the monopoly on everything. So it's good that like more companies get involved and like lower the prices, even though Wacom prices are still ridiculously high. Like they are so expensive. I had to look the other day actually, and I noticed that they've gone down a little bit. But it wasn't. It was just like refurbished products, which is always a risk. I remember Hackers while that was happening. Yeah, I know. What if birds aren't real? What if birds aren't real? Decent article. What if birds aren't real? I don't know what you mean. What if birds aren't real? What if nothing is real and we're a simulation? That's right, Sid. That's right. You got to games. You've watched too much Matrix. You got me. It's a good movie, man. Oh yeah, of course. get it now. I get it now. Hmm. 2 seconds, guys, just messaging. Okay, how are we looking? How are we looking? Render takes so long, like rendering anything takes ages, but backgrounds are so big that they take so much longer. Like sometimes you just feel like you want to just add dots and bits in places, and that'll like build up the detail until you're finished. But it's about like it's basically that. That's basically what I'm doing. But oh, hang about. What's going on over here? That's not right. It's basically what it is, just adding detail until it looks finished. But it's about like where you place that detail, I suppose. This isn't like an illustration so much that it needs a focus point. Like there's no real focus point here. Like if I wanted to put a focus point, I might. Why did I keep happening? I might put like some characters like walking in the distance here or something. And you can kind of see like how dark that is, that contrast. I'll try and like lead these lines down to see all these leading lines, and maybe I'll get that cloud coming in. You got these coming down into here. I mean that rock is kind of like pointing in that direction. I'll change that cloud. But everything kind of, I'll try and get everything to lead nicely down into here, like with all these and that, and then that across there, to create that composition there. But that is not what I'm doing. It's it doesn't have a focus piece because it's purely a background, a backdrop for characters to be in front of it, superimposed in front. So it's it's not like a illustration that needs it. Although I like adding a focus to everything I do because it just looks a little bit plain without it. So kind of half in focus is this rock here. It's been sort of part of the design. Dun, 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 dun. Yasmin. Sounds can feel the heat from the painting and the cooling on shadow, but still musky heat in the air with a little breeze, scorpions everywhere. Yeah, that's the mood I'm going for. It's really weird because if you wanted to do like extreme heat, you would think you would have to do something like really, really hot, like everything be this kind of like red color here. But it doesn't really work that way. It's all about what it's all about relativity. So like you can tell you can tell this rock is really hot because of how blue the sky is behind it. And I did that on purpose. So like blue sky always makes it feel like it's sunny. Blue sky, no matter where you are, makes it feel like it's sunny. But this sand only feels bright, which makes it feel warm because it's next to this really dark rock in shadow, and it feels hotter again because the shadow isn't that dark. So you can tell that the sky is so bright that it's illuminating the shadows, which is why they're purple. So all of that sort of reinforces each other. Like no one can go away and just go and paint me a desert, because you're like, well, what do you want exactly? Because a desert could be black and white. If it's a black and white image, a desert could be green from a certain point of view, you know. So it depends on everything else. Like that's why painting to like push and pull. That's why you can't just paint this bit and render it fully so it's hyper realistic looking and then add the rest, because it doesn't work that way. Everything's about pushing and pulling, and like when I change this cloud, it changes a little bit of everything else. So I have to like go over and edit. That's why I'm not just concentrating on one area. I'm back and forth and I'm bouncing around the canvas. If that makes sense. Oh, I merged these layers when I didn't mean to. Just add in little bits that make it feel like my style. As I mentioned before, like it's about the decisions you make, and these are a few of mine. I always kind of do this kind of thing. Wait, what layer is that on? Perfect. I always do this for some reason, and I don't know why, but I always kind of like try and create mini compositions inside this bush. And then if I delete that, then you've got like deselect. Then you've already got like a texture to the bush. It kind of looks like it's reading well. I think that's a thing I learned from kind of animation. I think it's a speed trick to create texture really quickly. And then the closer it gets to screen, then like with these here, then I add a little bit more detail, even though these are a little bit, I do want to change these shape. They're a little bit naff. Oh, what's going on there? Oh, I'm on the wrong layer again. See, even professionals, they get on the wrong layer. So annoying. Do the same here for now. Trying not to create them, trying not to make them too uniform, otherwise it wouldn't look right. It wouldn't look like an organic bush. Okay, 30 seconds, I'll read some messages. Which model of Cintiq do you use? I'm using the XP Pen 22-inch HD. Thank you for the question. What are your opinions on pressure controlling the brush size compared to it controlling the brush opacity? I have it controlling both depending on the brushes, so I think you should, personally, I think you should have it registered to the brush individually and not really change much up here. Like if I change this brush, it already has my opacity settings up there. If I needed to change anything, I would just change the brush. So it's that kind of thing with me, really. I more change the brush than I do change any opacity or anything. Makes perfect sense, and that's why I love your art style. Oh, thank you. I can't remember what I said, but thanks. I'm glad it makes sense. I gotta stop with these emojis down. Now keep the emojis coming. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Charles, too much love. I understand. Oh, it's so nice. So nice to chat today. Wrong layer is a pain in the ass always. It is a pain in the ass, isn't it? It is. Like, I don't think no matter how much you can really practice, you'll always get something. Oh, that really changed it there. That texture of that makes it look quite nice. Yeah, no matter how many layers you get, no matter how much practiced you are with backgrounds, you always paint on the wrong layer. This brush should be darker, I think. Feel free to give me any tips, guys. I'm not like, no one's a master of anything, so like if you spot something that looks a little bit odd, let me know and I'll take a look at it. Because sometimes when you're, especially on a Cintiq, I found that like I'm so much closer to the screen that sometimes you neglect the rest of the image occasionally. So I do need to flip the canvas now and check out what's going on. Especially when I'm talking as well, because I don't think most people don't normally talk this much when they're painting. Where's flip canvas? Oh, there it is. Yeah, okay, these definitely need a little adjusting. And they should be much darker. Everything else looks, yeah, I guess. Looks okay. Wrong layer again. Sure, it's the middle ground rock might look better half shaded if the sun's at a 45-degree-ish angle. The sun is yeah, sort of at a slight angle. I think I made it so it was like on a circle. It will kind of be that angle, which suggests the shadow on this rock here, but it isn't completely 45-degree. So yeah, I think. Yeah, I think that's kind of true. I'll add some shadow to the rock. Certainly on this side here. Maybe I can brighten this side, darken this side. That is true, actually, yeah. Thinking about it. So bring that back a bit. And then inverse. And this again, and some of this. Oops. I'll keep working on that one. I think it needs a little. It's all one color now, I think. I think I can put this in shadow. this in shadow here. Actually, no, that would make sense. If the sun is coming from... Why does that keep happening? If the sun is coming from... Yeah, if it's like that kind of level, but also if it's like... If it's like this direction... Like, if you see what I mean. Like, no, wow, what a perspective grid, wow. I've done it again. There we go. Like, if you can tell that that's kind of coming forward, it would like hit kind of this area, so that'll be lit. That'll be lit. This will be dark because of this is in the way, and then you've got shadow down here, and I think this bit might be in shadow too, or at least darker. This is okay. That's okay. Maybe a bit of this is in shadow as well. You've got shadow. See, you've got shadow undercast there, so that must suggest the light isn't too horizontal, because that is in shadow. So I did think about it kind of. Yeah, it's all part of the render though. I'll definitely consider that middle ground rock. Matt, I forgot your chocolates. Happy Easter. Oh yeah, happy Easter everybody. I don't celebrate it too much anymore. The first egg I had this year, I probably had it in February, so it's not like it's a thing for me anymore. I kind of I eat eggs all the time. I'm literally eating all the time. I do have an egg though. I have one of those big ones, the Cadbury's ones. The big they do like thick ones now where it's like half an inch thick. I use too many layers now, it's about 5 in total. I need to do one layer. Sand is reflective, bounces off tons of light. I love it. Refractive, not reflective. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. The yeah, it's so bright, isn't it? And it's like even in the middle of the night, I think moonlit sand is like it's over 50% grey. So it's like it's in most cases. If you want to stylize it, it's even more bright. So it's yeah, that's right, yeah. So it's kind of cool to play with. But yeah, that's so true. So like odd things that you won't normally find being lit is lit because of the ground. Like the way I completely changed how I rendered grass. How I rendered grass when it was when I found out that like they're translucent, so they emit light as well, especially when they're backlit. So like a really intense sun on a patch of ground, on a patch of grass is just like blooming with light. It's almost bloomed, and it's like you can't really get much shadow in there. So it's really a trick to learning materials, and then you get better at rendering and stuff. Catholic Easter is today, yeah. Catholic Easter. Oh, that cloud is not good. Oh wow, the cloud is really not good. Everything's like the same shape, look, everything's like the same size and shape, so I want to break that up into like making that bigger, crunching that down. Already that's better just because it's not so uniform, like it doesn't look man-made at all, you know. when did you start doing concept art? Do you do character design as well? I started. I started. My first paid job was in like 2014, so I've been doing it a while professionally. But I started sort of like learning. I've always been like an artist. Like I was like the artist person in the class in school. So it all starts back then, like rendering stuff, learning how stuff looks and how you can sort of adapt. Oh, what am I doing? How you can change things and adapt things to look different ways. Like just holding a pencil as well is practice essentially. So I've been an artist a while. And with character design, I do some character designs. I'm doing a lot for my current employer. I'm doing quite a few characters for. I never really show my characters because they're not up to the same standard. They're not up to the same standard as my environment. So it's like I don't put them online just in case people want. Just in case like clients come up and they'd be like, "Oh, I want some characters." I'm not comfortable doing characters as much as I am environment. So it's one of those things where it's a choice. I don't put characters up online, and therefore I don't draw that many characters, I guess, as a result of that. Yeah, that needed to be way darker. I was trying to trick something, like I was trying to think like possibly like even further to the left over here, you would have like this big rock would end, and like you'd have like a little bit of light shining through because of the sand glowing on this side, but without the sand being there, that doesn't read very well. So you have to. There are rules to framing that you need to adhere by. It's okay to have light coming off screen onto regular. Like it's all right for you to understand that the sun is there. You understand that the sun is up here because you can see the sun's effects on everything else, but you could only see one effect of the light being on that side, and you couldn't see the light. So it would work if I did like the light down here or something like there, and then have that being bright. But I might do it. It doesn't need it though. I think I enjoy this streaming, so I think I might do a lot more of it. But I don't always have something to draw, so I'll either do something like just a get up and draw thing where like you guys give me something to draw and I do it, like, or I could even do like paintovers if you have work that you want me to kind of go over and see if I can improve in some way. Then I was supposed to do that ages ago, but it's a lot easier with streaming because I could just give you a link to my Dropbox, and then you put your art in there, and I just pick one at random, and we go from there. Don't know what that is. Do any of you have Twitch at all? I started sort of streaming on Twitch, but then I realised that my audience isn't really on there, so I kind of stopped. But I wouldn't mind sort of streaming on Twitch every once in a while, just to mix it up. I have a few friends that stream on Twitch, so I'd like to kind of maybe join in what they're doing. Oh, that's true, I get your point, thanks. Also, this might just be me, but I can imagine a skull on the bottom right since there's a hot desert. Yeah, that's good. That's like, it's good to understand the content, so then you can add to it, like, without having to get reference all the time. I got a little bit of reference in between this stream and the previous one, just for things like the kind of bushes that you might get in a desert, that kind of thing, the way they act. And stuff like that, and the kind of rocks and shit. But it's apart from that, I can do most of it really. Oh, where is that now? Is that on a different layer? Yeah, that's on that layer. I'm so bad with layers. Um, Sorry, but yeah, oh, yeah, a skull on the side. I would do. But what this is for people who don't know, is just a background for a game. It's a pre-battle field, like a desert battlefield, and a post-battlefield that I'm going to do later. So this is the kind of happy scene. I wanted to get like a lot of bright colours in there, a lot of happy icons really, and I don't think a skull would be that happy because in the post-battle there will be a lot of skulls then, because it's supposed to be a bit more moody. I think it's overcast and cloudy, and there might be a lot of like blood-soaked sand and things like that. So I'm trying to get that across then, and perhaps I could put the skull then. But for this piece, it doesn't quite fit the mood I'm going for. I hope that makes sense. Can you show us a character? Oh wait, no. Oh. Wales is ideal place to paint natural scenery. It is, especially with the sun at the moment. Yeah, it's so nice. It is so nice. I'm going to do a load of environment paintings and like tree paintings and stuff in the summer, because I think we're going to have a much better summer this year. Well, I hoped we would have had a much better summer where we could all go outside and stuff, but we'll have to see. Can you show us the characters on stream? I can't, I'm afraid. They're under NDA, so I can't really disclose any of those characters that I've done already, but I could paint my own character on stream if you wanted to. If I might do a stream on Tuesday or Wednesday, so I could do a character then. But I do want to do some paint overs of some people's work they've submitted, so I could do that as well. Where am I to? What did you do after school to get in the industry? Did you do internships, seek out art jobs, etc.? I was quite unique. So I didn't really apply for any art jobs because I never thought I was good enough, and I think a lot of people think like that, which is fine. It's fine to think like that if you're under the understanding that you're always going to get better. So I didn't apply for any art jobs until I knew I was good enough, and I made sure that I knew I wasn't good enough. So I had to wait. I had to get better. So I just studied and kept practicing until they started to approach me. So when they approached me, I was like, "That's good. That's good. That's one. You know, my first job. That's good that someone approached me. I feel like I'm getting better. So that's understandable." But ever since that first one, it just kind of snowballed, and I didn't really have to apply for any jobs. They've all kind of come to me, which I don't think I'm particularly luckily. I don't think I'm particularly lucky in that regard, because I think a lot of people get like that. But I didn't really apply for anything. No, they all kind of came to me, which is good. I'm not complaining. I just I think it's quite unique. A lot of people apply for art jobs and try to get in, and then they pick the best one. But I did want to make sure that I wasn't just being picked just because I was applying. I wanted to make sure that I was being picked because I was the best out of the people that were applying, I suppose. If that makes sense. Oh wow. I didn't do any internships either. No. But yeah, I just kept getting better and better until they employed me. My mentality was, I can't be like, name your favorite artist in the world, and however talented he or she are, then you would be like, okay, they can't be producing work this good and not be employed. And that was my mentality. So I just had to get as good as them, and then I'll be employed automatically, because you can't be that good and not be employed. I suppose that was what I was thinking. Can you show us characters on stream? Oh, read that one. The character thing, I think the environment stuff is so fun when it comes to the character stuff. For me, no problems watching on Twitch, I'll be there too. Oh, thank you, Yasmin. Yeah, Twitch is good. That's why I started streaming mixing, so Twitch doesn't have an interest. It was in India, so it's bad for people in India. That's why you got Mixer. I see. Mixer looked good though as well. I might be Mixer. As long as it's one of them, I don't mind switching it up. I don't mind sticking to YouTube either. It's quite cool. I gotcha, sounds cool, and it made perfect sense. Thank you. It would be awesome if you could paint a character on stream. I will do a character on stream on Tuesday. I'll start off with a warm-up character sketch on stream on Tuesday. Then probably about the same time as now, and then I'll do some paint overs, or maybe even a landscape with a character in it as well, something like that. It would be great to see some characters. Yep, I'll do that. It's good practice to use reference for starting concept art. Yeah, always use reference, always, every time. Even for this, I use reference. I got images of deserts online and on Pinterest and stuff, and like, it doesn't change your art style at all, and because you're making these decisions along the way. So don't be afraid of using using reference to. It's going to ruin your style because you don't want to be realistic or anything like that. Your style will come across automatically because, again, it's just about the decisions you make while you're painting. And my style in this painting is completely different to another style, even though it looks similar, because it's got a lot of the same decisions. So yeah, always use reference. Always use reference. It's literally not. Like, a lot of people think it is cheating for something. I know why they think it's cheating, but it's just not. It's just not. When you're in industry, you look around on everyone else's PC and they've all got like 2 monitors. The second monitor's always got reference on it. Just every time reference. Best part of mix is that you can interact with the audience real time. There's basically zero latency between you and the audience. Oh, cool. Okay. Well, I mean, that's pretty good. That sways it my way. Pinterest is a black hole. You just get sucked in the ears with some images. Yeah, I love Pinterest. It's so good. It's what Google should be. It's what Google kind of is now, actually, isn't it? Where you select an image on Google Images and it gives you a lot of other images that are like that have the same color code and things like that. It's really good. Oh, did anyone see my my new intro? My new intro. My new sort of going live UI thing at the start. It's something I did this morning. It's I think I might theme my whole YouTube that way, or retheme it, give it a little paint job. Because I like where it's going, but it's style has changed again, and I've got better at rendering materials. So I think I'll do something like what you saw at the start, or if you didn't see it, then like if you give it a rewatch after this is finished, you can see what I mean. Um, well, actually, I'll show you now. Actually, I'll go on to where is it? It'll be in YouTube Stream UI. There, this thing. It's yeah, it's cool. Oh shit, there's loads of questions. Sorry, I'll get to your questions now. But just sort of doing this better at rendering materials really quickly. This only took me about 45 minutes, I think. So it's pretty good. I think I might like just do all my YouTube in this kind of way and retheme everything so it's all looking good. I think I might do that, yeah. Oh wait. Oh wow. Pinterest as a whole, but it's so good though. It's so good. People think references are treated because they just don't know how to use them. Many people just copy the image. I think it's all and it's about what you get from the image as well. Like with the reference, are you referencing the color palette? Are you referencing the composition? Are you referencing the story they try to tell? I think like whatever you get from an image, only take one, maybe two things maximum from it, but don't take everything from it. Like if you find a really well shot image from like a Christopher Nolan film or something, take the story behind it. Take the father crying over the fact that her daughter's leaving that family home or something like that. Whatever the story is, take that story, maybe even take a similar composition, but don't take the color from it. Don't take the framing from it. Change the characters, maybe even change the dynamic. Maybe it's the daughter upset because the dad's leaving. Whatever it is, change it up a little bit, but don't take everything from the reference. Otherwise, that's a little bit pointless. You're not learning how to push things. Like every image, every painting, you should be learning something. Like I learned so much from this desert image, for example. I don't know that I have, but I know that I have when it comes to reproducing something. Like I didn't particularly think about the lighting when I did this rock. I didn't particularly think that the player can't see the light source illuminating this bush. They only saw the effect of the light, and it's like I know now that that you don't learn a lesson once, you learn it 3 or 4 times before you really kind of get it. So it's always helping, and doing things from scratch. When you do a painting from scratch, that's really ugly. It's a really ugly painting. You've learned more from that than doing a really pretty painting, I suppose. Like if I did a skyline, like a Into the Spider-Verse kind of cyberpunk, sci-fi, Neo-Tokyo, New York City painting, I will learn more from that than I have from this image. But this image, I had to do this image, but like I would have learned more from that one than this one because I'm so familiar with this kind of theme and setting. So always push your comfort zone out and don't reference everything from an image. Yes, any hole is a goal. Oh, Joseph. Oh, Joseph. So is Instagram, yeah. So is Instagram. Oh, I found Matt's on Pinterest. Oh, right. Oh, okay. Oh, and so is Instagram. Oh, cool. Oh, it's on Pinterest, is it? Oh, I did put some pieces on there, yeah. Thing is, Pinterest, you search for some references, and then you open a single image, and there's hundreds of other similar images. That's my favourite thing about it. It's just, it is a black hole of exactly what you want, though, isn't it? Like, you click that image because you want something from that image, and it's giving you 100 others like it, so you can't really lose, I think. It's such a good idea. Tries to think clean thoughts. Trails and Joseph. I respect tons of people to be watching your streams, but it's nice and intimate this way. Kind of a dig. You're having a go, mate. You're having a go. No, I know it is quite intimate, isn't it? I'm joking, but like I really like it. I really like it that there's like, I don't know, like 7 people maximum. It's always the same kind of people, and it's really nice because you get to know them, and I start to learn people's actual names, and they ask good questions, and it's just quite a small community, but it's really nice. What's next? Then you click on one that you liked and cycle continues. Yeah, love it. UI is perfect. Oh, Lola, thank you so much. I did it this morning. It only took about 45 minutes, so it's pretty good. I'll I'll link everything like that now. I think I quite like it. Nice, thank you. Oh, Vaishnavi? Vaishnavi. That's such a bad pronunciation of that name. Probably. Tell if ever I get your names wrong, just put them in what's it called when it's spelled the way it's pronounced. It's called something. I can't remember. Nice. I saw it. I was like, oh, Matt did some cute icons. I did some cute icons. I did. I did. I tried. It's weird because when you're doing UI, you're rendering a material really strong. Often it's metal or stone or paper. So you got to have a good idea of what things feel like and shadows and things. But it's all about contrast with UI. It's quite easy. Joseph, Mizu, I agree with you. Trails. Cool. Okay. Got my Finnish references. Nice. Alright. I think I'll finish. Yeah, I'll finish here at 9 now. I close everything else. Maximize that. I think it needs a lot of work. It does. It will take. It's taken longer than I thought because I have to kind of talk at the same time and answer questions, which I like doing. It's just I didn't really anticipate that when I was estimating the time. So some clouds kick up in the distance over here. It's almost finished. 100-minute mark. Is that how long I've been on? 100 minutes. 100-minute mark. It says live for 1 hour 40 here. 1 hour 40. That is 100 minutes, isn't it? Jesus Christ. 1 hour 40. Yeah, that's 100 minutes. Yeah, good. Nice, good. That's perfect. I'll have 3 minutes, and then I'll go. Cool timing. It is cool timing. I think I do like the shorter streams though. So I think I'll do an hour and a half, an hour and a half maximum. I think the next couple of streams, just because I'll feel more likely wanting to do them because it doesn't take 2 hours out of my day. So it's only an hour, which is fine. And also, I'm only ever doing stuff on stream that I would be doing anyway. So it doesn't take that much longer. Yeah, just put a few effects on this now. A lot down here. And then purples. Let's get some purple, shiny purple. Oh wow. The top of the sky might be a little brighter if the sun is close to that area, just a random thought. Yeah, I see what you mean. I only ever do it a bloom, you mean, what am I doing? You mean the sun would be there like that if it was above that kind of thing. You only ever get that really when you're kind of close to the sun, and I want to make it seem like the area is a little bit bigger. So if I did do it, it'll just be a very faint one from this direction, something like that. But even that makes it feel like the sun is kind of here, facing this way, as opposed to over here, facing this way. If anything, I think the horizon over here might be a little darker. A little stronger over here. Color dodge. A little stronger over here. But it's not a science. It's quite literally an art, so it's never exact. We do brush tool, I quite like that. The clouds need a little bit of clouds do need a little bit of work. If I remove them. It's not the worst thing in the world if I remove them. I think this one won't have that much shadow underneath. It's too far away to have that much shadow. I just give it more like. A little faded, but cool. Yeah, a lot of colour here, which is good. Here, contrast there and there. I can add a few more things, but I think I'll. Matt, we are in quarantine. We are lonely. I think 1.5 hours short time. Yeah, I know. Just kidding. Yeah, we'll see how we go. If you want to, what I'll do, if you all follow me on Twitter, what I'll do is I'll tweet something. I'll tweet my Discord. I'll tweet my Discord, and I think I'll if you add that, then I can add you, and then you message me on Discord saying I'm like I want to paint over or something. Then you can send it over to me, and I'll get that ready for Tuesday, and we can start doing that. I'll start with a character, but I'll do some paint overs as well, because I did say I'd do that ages ago, and I learn a lot from paint overs too, so that's good. So follow me on Twitter, which you can get. It's just Mattsanzart. It's the same in Twitter, or even Instagram if that's where you follow me. And I'll get that done for Tuesday, which should be good. And that makes sense. And true, art is unreality. Don't you think that art is a science? No, I don't. I think it's got a lot of. I think it's mathematics. I think it's got a lot of mathematics, but it's got a lot of rules. I always thought of it like maths and science are the same, and English and art are the same, in the way that. Science uses a lot of maths. You use a lot of grounded 1 add 1 equals 2. I had to think about it then. 1 add 1 equals 2. And so mathematics use a lot of science, so it's like hard defined, sort of 5 add 5 equals 10. But then I think of art as in like English, as in like there are rules, you should follow grammatical rules, and there are full stops needed when and where. But also at the same time, it's a poetry, it's an art, the rules are there to be kind of bent and twisted and see what you can come up with. And I think that's a lot more true to art than science is. So science is like maths and art is like English. To me, at least. Art is beyond science. Short streams are a lot of slices of cake, delicious and simple. Long streams are like entire cakes shoved on people's mouths. I agree, because I was watching someone stream. I went to watch someone stream actually until I saw that it was like 2 hours 57 minutes, or like 3 hours. And I thought don't want to listen for 3 hours, because you'll get like a few nuggets of information and that'll be it. Like you'll have to listen to them ramble for ages, which I'm probably doing now. I'm just rambling now. So I'll end it there. But I think with like a 1 hour stream, you get like more of a condensed kind of little lessons in there, and you can ask questions and stuff, and it's good. I kind of agree with you, Sid. If we talk about commercial art, that's definitely a debatable topic, man. Yeah, of course. I don't think it's been science still. Ooh, debatey. Okay, I'm going to go. Thanks for joining though, guys. As always, been a pleasure. I'll be on about Tuesday sometime, maybe about the same time. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed and learned a few things. Hopefully you'll join me on Tuesday. Okay, bye.